And I want to start this video by making you reflect on a reality that sometimes we don't want to stop and see. And that is, as long as I don't give up what doesn't do me good, what doesn't make me happy, what really isn't right for me, as long as I don't stop wanting to receive this, nothing else will come. Nothing will change. Something better won't arrive. Because by settling, by allowing, I give my approval. That is to say, life gives me. This includes within life, as people give me, what they want to give me. But it depends on me, whether I accept it or not. That is a personal lesson. And it is, moreover, an important personal lesson. So, if I am receiving from someone who matters to me a treatment, a consideration, an attention that is not what I want, unless I decline it, it is what I will continue to receive. And I need to become aware of this. And also, the next thing I should become aware of is what I am receiving and how what I receive is affecting me. Because if there is something in this life that does not go unnoticed, it is love. That's how it is. Love cannot be hidden. In other words, it cannot be hidden. Neither from that person, nor from others, and much less from ourselves. Being in a sentimental relationship, whatever it may be, whether reciprocated or not, whether as a couple, infatuation, friends with benefits, whatever it is. That's why I've called it sentimental relationship. Being in a sentimental relationship will always have an impact on me. That's why many times when we find ourselves in a situation where we feel in a dilemma about not knowing if I'm with the right person, if I'm developing this in the right way, that is, if I should invest more energy, if I should have more patience, or, on the contrary, if I should put a stop to it, if I should reconsider. What's happening here? This is very simple. Simply stand and consider the following. Since you've been in this relationship, situation, whatever you want to call it, with this person, have you been shining more or have you been dimming? Because I tell you that one of the two things is happening. That is to say, you don't stay the same. You haven't remained the same person you were the day before you met this person until today. Being in the relationship with this person has either been adding to you or subtracting from you. Sometimes this is very obvious and sometimes it is more subtle. But that one of these two things is happening, I can guarantee you. I'll sign it anywhere you want. So you know which of the two is happening. If you have felt that by being with this person, your self-esteem has been reinforced, your enthusiasm, you're happier, you put in more effort. Or if, on the contrary, since you've been with this person, your self-esteem has been diminishing, you feel more insecure, you're more irritable, you're more nervous. As I say, there are scales here. That is, someone can come into our life and completely light it up. And we fall in love, and we feel reciprocated, and we're floating on a cloud. Then you see someone who hasn't seen you in a while, and they say, wow, you look amazing, you look beautiful. What I am is happier. I can't do it, and we're not going to. I can't even express it. Or it could be that someone has come into your life, and you're in a relationship that is completely harmful to you. This person is even playing mind games with you. And since you met them until now, you are a shadow of what you used to be. And anyone who sees you says, hey, are you okay? What's wrong with you? I notice you're acting strange, right? Those would be the most pronounced extremes. In the middle, there are a lot of gray areas, but one of those two things is happening. So if what's happening is that this person, instead of adding, is subtracting, I think what you're receiving from this person is not good for you, and therefore you should decline it. This doesn't mean that you are giving up on the person themselves. I've talked about this before. In life, many times it's not about rejecting someone, it's about rejecting what this person gives me because I'm not satisfied with it. We often mistakenly believe that giving up on love means a lack of feeling like I no longer feel for you. That is to say, my lack of feeling towards you leads me to let it go. And that same thought implies that if I truly care, I must endure. I must make the sacrifice. And this is a mistake. I don't give up because I don't care. I don't give up because I don't feel for you. I give up because you're hurting me. And maybe it's not you, but the situation as it is happening is hurting me. And when love hurts, it's bad. That is, nothing ever grows from there. Good. That is to say, that's why we often wait to reap. But when the sowing is hurting, we won't reap anything. Good. Truly, if you realize that being in this situation is harming you, you have to let it go. And it is precisely giving up on the situation that can make this person reconsider what they feel for you. Because if it's harming you, one of the reasons, or at least, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's imagine that we are not dealing with someone who wants to take advantage of you, nor someone who is playing with you, and that this is what causes you discomfort, nor are we dealing with someone who has many people. If we are dealing with someone healthier, obviously giving up is saving you. You are saving yourself from a greater harm in the future. But let's say that's not the case. Let's say that this discomfort simply arises because this person is not recognizing the feeling, nor is coming into contact with the feeling. And they are not even stopping to think about what it means for you. And it's important that you realize, that is to say, I have to have my barriers, my limits. This is harming me. If it's harming me, I remember what Amanda told me. If I am sowing and when I sow it hurts, nothing will come out of here. That is worth it. How can I make this person realize that this is harming me as well? How can I make them realize that for me this is not enough, that it's not making me happy, right? There was potential here between us. There were chances for something beautiful to come out of this, but nothing beautiful is coming out. How can I make this person reconsider without telling them explicitly? Because sometimes it's not appropriate, right? And we have to hold on to reality. And if it's not appropriate because I don't have the level of connection with this person, right? Or even there are situations where I would have the right to tell them all this, to make them see that it harms me, but usually people don't react well to scoldings. Love should never be seen as an obligation. That is to say, I don't want you to pay attention to me because I force you to pay more attention to me. I don't want you to seek me out, to want to know about me because I threaten to leave. And you do it out of obligation, that is to say, I want you to. When you're not with me, think of me, miss me, and want to know about me. I don't want you to suggest we meet because otherwise I'll get upset and so on. No. I want you to suggest we meet not because you're afraid of losing me and it's the last move you have to make. I want you to want to spend time with me because you feel something for me and you want to, just as I want to. I want it to come naturally to you. And if it doesn't, I don't want to force you to do it. I don't want to try to convince you. I don't want to threaten you. I don't want to impose myself forcefully. That is, my presence shouldn't be some kind of obligation. No, no, no. It has to be something free, something that brings you value, that something you want. So if I am in a situation where I am not feeling well, because I realize that somehow what should naturally arise in you isn't happening. At the moment I give up on this as it is, when I say, look, as things are, right? And calmly, I understand that this way, no, that I won't allow this to keep dimming my light, that I, on my part, internally set my boundary. I set that limit and refocus on myself and love my life, and I don't seek you out, but simply wait to see what comes from you. I am doing the most powerful thing I can do. Why? Because I am letting you choose freely. Because that's how I want to be chosen. Because love has to emerge autonomously. And because it's not the same for a person to realize in their mind that they miss you, realize that they lack you, realize that they want to see you, as it is for a person to find themselves in the dilemma of not knowing what they want. But Pepito and Julita have already told me that if I don't step up, they won't stick around, and Well, I'm not convinced. Coercion sometimes yields short-term results, but usually never in the long term. And when we are truly willing to let go sincerely, to release that control we try to have over a situation that is really not in our hands, that we think we control, but we cannot control. Because in the end, one cannot influence what the other person feels no matter how much they want to, right? And trying to influence usually what happens, which ultimately leads us to actions where the other person feels like we are chasing them, that we are pursuing them, right? And we are very committed to the outcome, to wanting this to go well, and this usually creates an energetic barrier where we place the other person above ourselves, right? We see this as too much. I mean, even though it's what we desire the most, deep down we have an underlying thought that is imagining myself with this person and imagining that we have something equitable and that we are well. Deep in my heart, I feel it's too good to be true. And that thought settles within you and is what creates that energetic barrier. But while you are chasing, you can't help but feel this way. Because as I say, in some way, you are mentally positioning the other person above you. But the moment you give up in the sense of saying, I don't want to be with you at any cost. I want us to be together if you want. And the fact that you want will imply that being together will do me good. Because if you are going to know how to give to me, if you are going to reciprocate, I will feel loved. And it is then when your love will contribute to me, when your love will help me shine, when I will wake up in the mornings and thinking of you is a pleasant thought that makes me happy. Not like things are now, where thinking of you makes me want to cry more than smile, right? I don't want that. I don't want to be with you in just any way. I don't want to be with you at any cost. I want to be with you if you want to be with me and if it benefits us to be together. Otherwise, I let go. I let go, right? And that is very powerful on an energetic level. The message you give to life is very strong, isn't it? Which is about, do I allow things to be as they need to be? Not what I think I need and want it to be at any cost, even at the expense of my well-being, at the expense of how I feel, of my health. And also regarding that person, as I say, you release that tension. You let go of that energetic barrier that exists. And allow that if until now you were somehow chasing this person. With your actions, sometimes there are many ways. There is the very active pursuit, trying. This is when, for example, we have a conversation with someone and the other person doesn't make an effort. But there we are. They reply with a laughing emoji, right? Which clearly doesn't encourage. And we keep the conversation going well by force. And if they don't reply, we look for an excuse to write to them again. And we search for something and we maintain. And if we don't know, we go back. It's inactive, but many times it's not showing it so much, but we're there in the background. Closely watching this person's movements, we know by heart the list of people they follow on social media, who they unfollow, very attentive to their stories. We try to do everything as I say, and all this is energy that is noticeable. It's I'm pursuing you. And what we chase runs away by inertia. Now, the moment I let go, I change that polarity and start to understand that I can attract. That I deserve to be sought after, right? I remind myself that I am worth it, the effort. Hey, why not? Because wouldn't you really like, without doing anything, to be able to relax again, be calm, let go of all that mental burden, which sometimes is a very heavy mental burden, of trying to maintain something at all costs, at any price, right? Let go of all that burden. Allow yourself to relax in yourself, in your energy. Focus on yourself and suddenly, without having made any effort, receive news from this person, that this person seeks you out. I want you to feel that emotion, to imagine this, saying, oh my gosh, there are times when it's like I don't know how to make this continue and I don't want to lose the person. Cry it out, let it go, and that's it. And now imagine that it catches you doing an activity you like, that you are dedicating time to yourself, and suddenly it's that person who Not because you had to do anything, nor to get their attention, nor because you sought them out first. It's that person who seeks you out because they want to. Doesn't that make you feel good? Well, don't settle for less. Give up everything that doesn't make you feel good. And don't settle for less from what could truly bring you value. Truly never forget that love is a matter of two, and that you have the right for it to be that way. Well, I hope this video helps you, that you liked it. If so, and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, of course, I invite you to do so. Hit the bell icon, because I would love for us to see each other again very soon. And until then, I send you a big kiss.